Hi, welcome to the Taco Cast. I'm Crystal.
Well,
You guys are the audience. Today we're joined with Joy Stout. She's a costumer with, I think, well over a decade of experience in costuming. And she's going
Yeah,
to
about 18 years.
about 18 years. So, yeah,
Mhm.
quite a lot of experience. She's going to give us some tips on stuff that we can do at home. She's going to walk us through the world of costuming. And if you guys have any questions, we'll have some links below. We can start a conversation with Joy. Joy, you've got the floor.
Hi, all right. So I'm going to talk today about a couple of things that are relatively easy to find. And most of them you can order from like Michael's or Craft Warehouse or Hobby Lobby. So the ears that I'm wearing are made with a product called Cloud Clay, which is kind of like a more adult version of Crayola Model Magic. You could certainly make these out of Model Magic. Model Magic just over time gets kind of crumbly, and Cloud Clay has more polymer in it, so it sets up better and it'll last quite a bit longer. I've had these for about 3 years now, and so they're just stuck in my head with some elastic. And then this is just a cheap wig. This is from the Descendants. I got it for like $3 after Halloween, which is the best time to buy stuff like this. And so I just painted the ears to match the wig. And then, so I do a Tim Burton Cheshire Cat with this particular outfit, which I didn't have time to put on. But there are a lot of things that you can make with either Model Magic or Cloud Clay. You do ears, you can do horns. I made this guy's little face.
that's cool.
Oh, that is very nice.
So he's just a little shoulder perch griffin that I take with me. So it's really easy to use. It's air dry, and like his beak, my ears, it's paintable, and it just takes just regular acrylic paint. So you can just primer it with just like some basic primer and then color it pretty much any color you want. And it's nice because it holds texture pretty well. I don't know if you can see it on his little beak. He's got quite a little bit of texture there.
The video is not 100%, but it does look like there's quite a lot of detail there.
Does
so
it set up quick, Joy?
no, it takes, so you do have a long work time with,
Okay.
especially with Cloud Clay. Model Magic dries out a little bit faster, but they both take about 24 hours to fully set. And when you do thick pieces, like if you can see how thick the base of my ear is, when you do thicker pieces like that, it can take longer. I think these guys, it took them almost 2.5 days to fully set. And the nice thing, so his beak is really rigid. I can't bend it. That's Model Magic. My ears, on the other hand, this is the Cloud Clay, and I can, well, if I can get it. So they have quite a bit of flex.
Oh yeah, they
so
do.
It's one of the reasons why Cloud Clay is better to use for long-term projects, especially if you need flexibility. But Model Magic is a lot cheaper. So they both pretty much work the same way. It just depends on how long you want it to last and how much abuse you think it's going to get.
I was just thinking with if you've got a little one like Taco in the house, probably something that's got some flexibility because he's coming.
Right, yeah, because you can get some flex out of them, and they'll usually be okay and bounce back.
Now the paint choices for the coloring. Is there anything if you are using? I'm having a really hard time articulating that. Is the paint going to crack, or does the acrylic paint have some give to it also?
So you can mix fabric medium in with your acrylic paint to give it some flexibility. These ears, the insides are actually colored with an alcohol-based ink. I want to say it was Ranger ink, I think, that I used. So that you don't have to worry about it rubbing off or anything because it bonds with whatever you paint it on, including like fabric or anything like that. It's a great way to dye lace. You can use them to dye wigs. But the problem is that, of course, alcohol is drying and can be somewhat damaging. I wouldn't use it on Crayola Model Magic. It'd probably eat through it.
Okay.
But just regular acrylic, just mix some fabric medium in with it and it'll be more flexible.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, and then the second thing I wanted to talk about is craft foam. So it comes in a lot of different thicknesses, which a lot of people, you pretty much have to order anything this thick. This is, I want to say 4 millimeter, I think. And then pretty much what you see in the stores is this stuff. It's about 2 millimeters.
The thin sheets.
Yeah, it's so they call it, I think the brand name is Foamies is what you usually see. But this stuff works really, really well for building a lot of things. I could technically have built my ears out of it. I've built ears out of craft foam before and then just covered them with fur. You usually want to back it with some fabric or duct tape or glue it to some cardboard to give it some stiffness because it's super floppy. But the floppy, does make it great for building wings.
Oh, very nice. Those have got a lot of detail to them too.
Yeah, so, and the other great thing is, and I don't know if we can see it, because they're black, of course. There we go. So you can cut out, like I cut out little gears, and then I added some more foam along here to help stiffen it and hide the, because this is just a coat hanger. And so you can get several layers on it for decoration. And then this, obviously, I would want to paint because it's, like I said, it's really hard to see any of the detail because it's so dark. But they're really lightweight. I can effectively fold them flat for transportation and then fold them back out. Aside from tearing, you can squish them and they'll pop back out.
Oh, nice.
So they're pretty durable.
It would be good for kids, or if you have kids around. Yeah.
And you can get these in like 8.5 by 11 sheets. These are the bigger sheets. I want to say they're like 18 by 12 or 16 or something like that. They're skinny and really long, which is what I needed to get the full length of the wing. But you can order them from Michael's. They always have like the shorter 8.5 by 11, the A4 in stock. But you can order the bigger ones. And Walmart during the summer carries them in their like kids craft section for like club craft type stuff. And it's usually, I want to say, like a pack of 24 is usually like $16. So, and then at Michael's, you can use a coupon and get it for less than that. So not so much at Walmart, but they tend to be fairly inexpensive anyway.
Like Michael's has those like 50% off your whole order coupons now and again, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I bought the stuff to make these wings, I want to say the pack was like $19.99, but I had 50% off coupon, so I got it for $10.
Nice.
And effectively, since it had 2 of each color, it had 24 sheets, 2 of each color, so I could get 12 wings made out of for $10. So
That's
less than $1 a wing.
Really good, yeah.
I think the only thing limiting would be your creativity.
Yeah. Do you need any special tools to work with these two medium? Not
really. So I just use an X-Acto knife. Especially for like small stuff like let's see if I can get it to come in focus. The gears here and the holes, those are all cut with an X-Acto knife. But then all of the blades on the wing, I just cut with a pair of scissors. And the great thing about craft foam is that it's also kind of a downside too, but when you draw on it with like a pencil, it indents really easily. So you can just lay your pattern right on top of it and then run your pencil along the outline or whatever you want, and then it transfers it directly to the foam.
Nice.
So that makes it really, really easy to cut out because then you've got this nice line to follow. And let's see. So this is something else you can do with Model Magic. This is the Crayola Model Magic. It's not, I haven't finished painting it yet, but I made a Harry Potter wand.
Very cool.
For just kind of for fun. And these are great for like kids stuff because you can just get, you can either use like a kebab skewer. The inside of this is, it's a dowel, but you can use a kebab skewer. You can use, if you have chopsticks left over, like the bamboo chopsticks that you get at the the Chinese restaurant. And so you just cover it in one color of Model Magic and then make decorations with the other. And then once it's dry, you can paint it. You can glue little gemstones on the end or eyeballs or, you know, whatever you want, or a crystal. And it's pretty easy. Model Magic's non-toxic. I don't recommend eating it, but if they happen to eat it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Cloud clay is non-toxic skin, but it definitely shouldn't be eaten. So if you're working with little guys, I definitely go with the Crayola Model Magic over the cloud clay.
Okay. Huh.
Note to self.
Yeah. Don't eat the product. It's not good.
And here I was I'm gonna shout out on a jar.
Well, taco Mike.
So another thing you can do with the craft foam is you can make armor out of it. So I kind of showed like the progress. So these were some cheap little angels pre-cut out that I got after Christmas at, I think it was Hobby Lobby. I think I paid 10 cents a package for them, and each pack had like 20 angels in it. And the nice thing is that they were laser cut out, so when you stack them, they kind of look like filigree. So when I do an armor piece, you get a nice layered sort of gauntlet look to it, and then I'll get, you know, kind of this cool little.
That is very cool.
So, and you can certainly cut that out yourself. It's nice when you can get a hold of stuff that's already pre-cut that you don't have to worry about. These are also great for layering. Like they had some holly leaves that I probably should have bought, and I seriously regret not doing it because they would have made really cool elf armor just for decorative bits and stuff like that. Because you can, you know, you could just cut off the wings and just use this bit to edge things with, or if you wanted something to stick a gemstone on, you've already got a perfect circle in the head there if you cut it off. So a lot of costuming is just really looking at stuff not for what it is, but for what it could become. So you're looking at it as a shape, like, you know, a circle, some really cool filigree, you know, a neat little gauntlet shape, or, you know, could be part of crown if you want to be like King Tut.
That's really, so there's a lot of out of the box thinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of looking at stuff and trying to think of what it could be. So one of the easiest ways I've found for planning a costume is to break it down into kind of its component parts, and then figuring out where I can find those component pieces that I need.
Very cool. So if somebody was looking to just get started into costuming, what would you recommend as their starting spot? What's something good that doesn't take a whole lot of time and will give them a good feel for it?
So as far as like patterns and stuff like that, especially if you want to work with foam, because it's really cheap, you can also do it in like cardboard. I've got a couple here. So Storm the Castle. Stormthecastle.com is a gentleman. He's put together a whole bunch of different patterns, and he's got them in 3 sizes. So you don't have to worry about trying to scale your pattern as much, which can be really, really difficult if you don't understand how scaling works. But because he's got like a child and a teen and an adult size pattern, most women can use the teen size patterns. The kids ones are really great for small children, but it's easier to scale them up sometimes than it is to scale down the teen ones.
Okay.
And he's got like 700, I think, close to 700 tutorial videos on YouTube.
Wow.
On how to make it, as well as on his page. Yeah, he's really done a lot of work. And a lot of his stuff is where I first learned how to work in foam. And he does a lot of great foam builds for, like he's done Wonder Woman, so characters that kids recognize and that people recognize. He's done the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings. He's done a bunch of stuff from Skyrim, and then he just has some generic armor builds that are sort of medieval-ish that you could pretty much go any direction you want. And then he did a whole bunch of Assassin's Creed stuff too. And what's really great is he's done a lot of builds in foam and thin wood. If you happen to woodwork, I'm garbage at it, so I don't. But for weapons props too, so you can make Sting and Glamdring, and he made a foam version of both of Gandalf's staffs, one of which lights up and one doesn't. So there's a lot of really great stuff on this site.
I kind of want to staff now.
And then for a little bit more advanced is Punisher Prop Academy. They do foam builds. They do foam builds with the thicker foam though, so they do a lot of foam carving. So it's definitely probably someplace to go later on down the road when you've had a little bit of experience, but their painting tutorials are really, really good. They have a lot of really great how to make foam look like metal, how to make foam look like wood. So I really highly recommend a lot of their painting videos. And they also have some electronics, some ebooks on how to do all of that as well that are fairly reasonably priced, and they go on sale quite a bit.
Right on.
And then the third place is the Foam Cave. Hopefully everyone can see that because I can't see anything now, which is thefoamcave.com. And I really like her site. She does have, so I forgot to mention the stormthecastle.com. All of his patterns are free. He doesn't charge for any of them. And if you're working with a kid, the really nice thing is if you take a picture and you send it into him, he'll send you a printable certificate of completion that you can print out for your child.
Oh, that's cool.
After they built the thing. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The Foam Cave, just like Punish Props Academy, they have some free stuff, but they also have some patterns that they charge for. The Foam Cave's patterns tend to be really inexpensive, between $1 and $5. But she does have a lot of free stuff on there, and most of the Foam Cave stuff are superheroes, Batman, a lot of DC stuff, a few Marvel, but it's probably one of the best places to get patterns for making a foam belt, because foam is really, really hard to get to work for a belt because, of course, it wants to fall apart. And she's got some really great tips and stuff on how to stop that from happening. And she has a lot of really, really good basic tutorials that are all free on just everything like what you need to work with foam, how to work with foam, how to heat foam, how to paint foam, seal it, things like that. So it's a great place to start off just to learn how to basically just work with basic foam.
That sounds really cool.
Now, are these closed cell or open cell foams?
So it's EVA foam.
Okay.
So they're technically, I believe, open cell, and so that does mean that you have to seal them before you paint them. Otherwise, they just kind of soak stuff up like a sponge. So for armor builds, my favorite thing to use is Plastidip. So I get the sprayable kind, which is just it's a polymerized rubber. But not super safe for kids to use. Definitely something that you want to use outside, but it does make the foam super, super durable.
So maybe if you're doing a family project, that's the adult only portion of the project?
Yeah. Now the other way to seal it, let's see, Mod Podge. So, which is a lot safer for kids to use. You can also use thin down, just Elmer's school glue, but you'll need a lot more coats of that because the foam does tend to soak that up pretty badly. And it does make your foam a bit more rigid. The Mod Podge tends to work better. Usually only need about 2 coats of this, and it doesn't soak in quite as far.
Okay. That's awesome.
Have you ever worked with liquid foams?
So I have. I've worked with the 2-part foams, which are technically, they call them latex foam, but it's not, there's no latex in it. It's kind of the same stuff that effectively you use to fill in holes in like your house. The expanding foam, kind of, it's a similar process to that. The only problem with a lot of those is that they require heat to cure. and you have to make a pretty extensive mold, or you just need to make a big blob of it and then carve it.
Oh,
And the
that's
carving,
definitely more advanced than.
yeah, if you're great at mold making, if you really want to get into that kind of stuff, I highly recommend smoothon.com. You're going to end up buying most of your products from them anyway, but they have some excellent mold making videos, and as well as they have a really, really great tutorials about how to safely use all of their products, and they do sell the 2-part foam. And then I've used just regular latex to do what they call slush molding, which is where you just do a mold, and then you just run a thin layer into the mold and just kind of like slush it around, and then pour it all out, and then do it again, and then basically you're building it up in layers before the previous layer completely cures, so that it will bond to itself, hopefully without looking like a layer cake.
Hopefully.
No guarantees, and a lot of times you'll get bubbles, and slush molding is pretty hit and miss. But I have done it. It's a lot of fun. I've also done painted. I didn't do it with these because this is actually Plastidip on the inside. But I have done where I've taken stuff that I've made with cloud clay and put brushed on a skin of latex over the top of it to help seal it. And you can do that with this too. Latex will bond to this. So if you, for some reason, need your armor to look like the flesh of your enemies, you can do it.
That's horrifying. But I mean, hey, it would. So for a beginner, which one would you suggest starting with, the clay or the foam?
It really kind of depends on what you're trying to make. If you're trying to make something that you're not going to flex a whole lot, like my ears or a wand or something like that, clay is going to be your go-to. If you want to make armor or something like that, I don't generally recommend making the entire thing out of clay. It's more expensive, first off, and it can be kind of hard to get it to bond to other things. Chunks will come off sometimes if you stress it too much. So it's great for the clay is great for making ornaments, or if you want some decorative filigree or something like that. But it's not really great for structured or load bearing or anything that has to take a lot of stress.
Okay. Yeah. That's great. Wow. Thank you very much, Joy. I learned a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
I really appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Do you have any parting wisdom for our guests? Just
there aren't any mistakes that's one of my favorite Bob Ross sayings. In costuming, there aren't any mistakes. Just happy little accidents. It could become something else. So it might not be what you thought it was going to be, but a lot of times it can still be something super amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh. So for our viewers, this has been Joy helping us out with some excellent ideas for fun stuff that we can do at home while we're all socially distancing. And some great websites too. We'll have a link up to Joy's I cannot make the English today. A link up to Joy's IMDb page.
We didn't get into that though.
Joy is a wonderfully well-rounded person, and I'm very pleased to know you.
We are all pleased to know Joy. But
thanks.
Is there any place else online? Do you have like a fan page or someplace or a page that maybe you're part of that you'd like to share for the audience out there, that maybe they can check out what people have made from these foams? Is there like an art gallery or something like that, or?
So I have a DeviantArt page. It's not active right now, but I will give you guys the link and I'll go ahead and reactivate it. I had taken it down to put up some more pictures and stuff, and then got busy and making costumes for this year's con season. But now that we're not gonna con this year, I guess I can just go ahead and stick it back up.
I saw that they canceled San Diego.
San Diego Comic-Con, yeah, they pretty much canceled everything.
That is so sad. There's so many people looking forward to that every year.
Yeah, that's okay. Go dress up when we can go out.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can just make our own conventions.
Yeah, do virtual cons.
Stay alive that we can make the next one.
That's right.
So
Yeah, right?
start with
Got all
that.
the time to plan for next year.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.